Hello, and we're back at Adobe Live from the OFFF in Barcelona. Hello.
Hello.
I'm Melanie, and I will guide you through a couple more portfolio reviews, and I'm really excited to have those two ladies here today. First of all, I will introduce you first and then come to you, because we spent more time on your portfolio, which I'm very excited about. Isabel, nice to have you here.
Thank you, it's nice to be here.
Isabel is you have so many things on your list. You're the founder of Atypical,
Yes.
creative director, previous Adobe resident, and you're simply amazing. And you're here to join me because Esra couldn't make it today. You will see that on the thumbnail currently, but this will be over soon. And Isabel is here now with us, and giving some tips on portfolios we have prepared. Portfolios, that's the keyword for you. Nadia, nice to have you here. We will have a look at your portfolio now. Again, we are very tight on time, so I don't want to spend too much time, and we will hop immediately over to your portfolio.
Okay, perfect.
Let's have a look. So, Nadia, do you want to introduce yourself quickly?
Yes, I'm a graphic designer and illustrator living in Frankfurt, Germany. And the last about 8 years, I was specialized in illustration. And first of all, I want to say thank you for the opportunity. And that's the starting point for my presentation. And I chosen my favorite projects. And my favorite projects are editorial illustration. So we can start, go on.
Very
okay.
cool. So where do you get your kind of inspiration from for these sorts of projects?
This style, I got the inspiration at the museum in The Hague, where I saw a couple of flowers and I was drawing them and then put them into digital illustration. And this is a client of mine. She's Sujin Buselli, and she's art director of magazines with a topic of with financial topics, which is quite boring, I thought.
Yeah.
But they are not boring at all, because she always gives me only some sentences, some words. For example, this was very risky, no safety net. And so you can be absolutely free in your interpretation of illustration.
No, it's really nice. And how do you kind of choose your colors and your style, things like that from the brief? Do you sketch things out, or how do you normally do that?
I sketch things on paper, and then I got a palette of colors, about 7 to 10, and I always use them. This is for the financial topic as well. One of financial, it's opportunities coming to the surface. So you are totally free, and that's great.
It's such a lovely combination to see something so colorful and bright with such a dry topic like finances. It's a really cool combination.
That's the thing which I really like. I'm working with Sujin Buselli. It's printed and it's used online as well, and sometimes also with GIFs. So that's quite
very cool. So
exciting.
sometimes it moves and animates and stuff as well.
Yes, some smaller animations, 2-3 frames, but it's perfect for this.
That's really good for bringing like complicated topics to life. I think that's a really nice way of approaching it.
And enhances the storytelling.
Yeah.
You see it, but then you also see it in motion, and it makes everything a bit more clear.
And I like the way in your portfolio we kind of see the big illustration, and I get to kind of decide what I think and feel about it. And then as you talk us through like the process more and more, it's really interesting to hear like how you've interpreted these quite dry like topics. So I think it's just such a really nice process you've got.
Yeah, and I think it's a quite American way of doing illustration to focus on the idea. And that's what in Europe sometimes it's not so popular, I think. And I love doing this because you got this freedom, as I said. This is also the financial topic.
Cool.
It was first of all, it was a free project where I created a lot of illustrations in that style with that colors. And then she wrote me, "Oh, I want to have this for that topic."
Cool.
Yeah, that was quite nice.
So it turned from a self-initiated project into a client project.
Yeah, that's it.
Couldn't be better, right?
Yeah, I was going to say that's exactly how you want to do it.
Write the bill, and that was everything. Yeah. This is also this financial topic.
This is lovely. This is a slightly different color scheme to some of the other ones. It's like a
Yes.
slightly brighter color scheme, which I quite
Yes,
like.
I'm changing color schemes sometimes. It's just fun then. It was used to be a free project as well, but I changed it a lot then. And it's about picking the right data. It's financial as well. Retirement plans in America. So
It's very nice to see the combination. But Nadia, you had some questions prepared for the portfolio review.
yes, I just had one question to perhaps you got an idea where to find new clients or new projects or where to put on my illustration and which direction.
I mean, I love your illustrations. I think for me, like, I do use Behance personally a lot to put on portfolios. And I think when you're doing like editorial and illustration, it's so tempting to just have a portfolio that's like a PDF or something like that. But I think getting your work online and getting more eyes on your work, particularly as you have such a distinctive style, I think that like also showing the GIFs and stuff, I'd love to see like how those little animations work. I think would be really, really useful. I think also I do a lot of like commissioning, like artwork and illustrators and things. And I think often like just having a really good website, having a really clear presence, I think, and also just sometimes knowing like what clients you've worked for before, it makes it kind of seem like I can trust you and I can come to you to do these really exciting kind of projects. But yeah, no, I would just have loved to seen some of the GIFs because I think that would have been really, really cool.
Yeah, I got the GIFs on the website. On the last page, I prepared a little GIF on PDF. I can move them to frames. This was a GIF as well. It was just a little move. And this was the financial topic as well. Oh, excuse me. It was used then online with a GIF and also printed.
Yeah, it's really nice.
This is for German newspaper called Psychologie heute, and it's this psychology themes, topics, which are really, really interesting as well.
This is beautiful.
Yeah, this was just printed.
But it's super cool. It sounds a bit like you're just waiting for the moment to really show your work in the best way, because you said, show me clients. You got clients. Show me your work.
Exactly.
You have great work and you have great gifts and everything. So it's just a matter of showing them properly.
It sounds like you should have more confidence in your own work. And also, like, I think you have an illustration style that could work for so many different magazines. And I feel like it would be so easy to just reach out and show them what you've done so far, because I think you're right, it's such a popular style in the US, but there's less of that being done in Europe. But I think you have a more European take on it, which I think is really nice, like, and kind of more subtle. So I think you should be able to be very successful with that.
Perhaps it's a chance to do it in Europe then, because you do not find this style so often there. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Very nice.
I continue? Okay.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, okay. And this
We will
is...
use every minute of this portfolio review. We will not stop.
Okay. And this is also for this magazine, for this German magazine. It's about wishes.
Very cool.
Yes. And it was a printed magazine. It was also a little GIF on the online, on the page, on the web page of Psychologie heute. And this was a small part on the next page, which was also used for a Christmas card of
very
this
nice.
publisher.
Cool. But one question, Isabella, since you sometimes commission work,
Yes.
what are you looking for? Are you looking for specific topics or styles, or?
I think it really depends. I think often I'm looking for somebody where I think their style could work for whatever the client is. And I think, like, particularly your style is very clear, it's very captivating. Like, that would be something I'm looking for. I think sometimes people look for illustrators that have a variety of styles, but that's not how I work. I look for somebody who has a clear point of view and tone of voice, which I think you really have. Because then I'd be able to feel like I think some of these are so clever, and I feel like I could give you any prompt and you'd be able to do something with it, which I think is actually a really hard skill. And I like that you've got some like self-driven work as well as like corporate work. I think that shows that you can balance those two things really well.
Yeah, okay. That's always a question for illustrators. Do you have all kind of styles or just one style?
I think it's a personal taste thing. I always look for like a very defined style, but sometimes that takes a while to come to. So I know that for many illustrators, that's not where they're at. But you know, I always love seeing how you can be creative within like, sort of the confines of a style that you've set for yourself.
I think it also depends on the usage. You know,
Exactly.
If you do brand illustration, you might have to get more into the brand topic as an illustrator. Whilst it's for magazines, it's really about the topic itself and having a clear visual language for
Exactly.
that. Yeah.
I just love that you use it as Christmas cards too, I think.
Yeah. So and now I got a self-initiated project for the 36 days of type.
Very cool, very nice.
You all know this, I
Yes, of
think.
course.
And it was kind of, it was in 2020, and it was kind of diary in the end for the COVID time.
Now I'm excited to see
Yeah.
it. Show us your work.
Oh, very cool.
And this is, I just chosen this because it's my favorite one, but I
Can you see the tongue?
Yeah, I love it.
oh, she's quite hungry. And I show you the whole alphabet. We still got time to do
See,
this.
this is really nice.
It's the A.
And do you share this on Instagram or
yes,
socials
yes,
as
for
well?
sure, yes. On the website as well.
Do you actually do mock-ups sometimes of your work? You know, where you really show it in a photographed way? Or do you photograph your work?
I was
Because
going to say you have printed
work.
magazines,
Yeah.
right?
I got printed magazines. I show them mostly in the way I did. I showed you. But I didn't do mock-ups yet, or
I think sometimes it's just nice to see a photograph of the real tangible magazine because
Yeah,
I think
that's
seeing it in print is so
because-
nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is really nice. Which is your favorite letter that you did?
The K,
Okay.
and perhaps
I really like
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
this is it's a bit between German and English. It's F for ferne, far away, and
Do those ideas come spontaneously to you, or is it something
Yeah.
you really note down and then prepare?
no, it's spontaneous.
I think this is my favorite
This is one of my favorites as well. Yes,
But
This
again, I would love to see that in motion. It could
Yes.
be even better.
Or do you sell them as prints? Because I can see this being a wonderful like illustration,
Yeah.
like on a poster for a bedroom, or
I'm doing prints at the moment. Yes, this is one of my favorites.
I love that one.
And I really love this as well. She's so lazy.
Do you think you're going to do it again this year, the 36 days of time?
No, it's over.
But you're going to do it again
Yeah.
each year, do you think, with a different
Perhaps,
style? Or?
yeah, perhaps next year. Perhaps this year I had
It's
so
quite a
many.
lot of work, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's great to do it because you always have to. Every day you can do something.
And you just
And
pick a
just-
new topic for yourself each day?
Yes, it was kind
For
of
the letter?
diary.
Very
I like
cool.
the details you discover. So I look at it and then I see it and then I discover all those small details. Just before can I go quickly back?
Yes.
This one here, where you also have the speech bubbles,
Yeah.
but you're not sure is it speech bubbles or is it aerosols? It's really nice.
It's both. Yes.
Yeah.
I love the patterns you've got on the clothing as well. I think it's so like rich and textural. I think that's really nice.
It's. I think it's my youth at the 80s. Perhaps the colors. And this is for reading. I like this as well.
I think it's really interesting how you've done so much with different compositions because they're all in the square format. I think you've done such interesting things with like the way you've organized like the bodies. I think it's great.
Super cool.
Okay.
It's really nice to go through this and see the range of work.
Yeah.
And I think you gave us a pretty well overview of your portfolio, something to
Yeah.
be really proud of. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think if I look at my invisible watch, I think the 15 minutes are over. Are there any last questions? Anything we could help you with?
Oh, I think you helped a lot. it's good to show it.
We just
and
had a
to
nice
do-
time looking at
We
your
had
work.
a nice
It's
time. I
lovely.
hope the audience as well.
Perfect. And thank you so much. We will see you around anyway. Nadia, it was a pleasure. Enjoy the off and see you maybe in the chat on Behance soon.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was great.
Really cool.
Oh my dear, I thought, how good can it be after all the portfolios we've seen today already? But this was another one that was so cool.
I mean, I make typefaces, but this is nicer than any typeface I've made.
There are always challenges for us.
Exactly.
Oh. Okay, I think we have at least one more person here in person. What a nice repetitive sentence. But let's look around. There's no one yet.
No. Feels nice after the pandemic to be able to do something in real life, though.
It's crazy, yeah. I was so overwhelmed when we arrived here. It was like, oh my god, so many people. Everyone is so happy after seeing so many sad faces for 2 years.
Exactly, just on Zoom.
It's really nice. Is it your first comeback event?
Yeah, I've been to, obviously I've been out in the real world, but this is the first conference I've been to. It seems strange being in a room with so many people. I mean, it's great, don't get me wrong, but it feels so strange.
Yeah. I'm always a bit hesitant.
Yeah.
But I think I'm at the point where I can really enjoy it already.
Yeah, I think you're just getting energy of actual other people in the real space.
So,
hi.
We have someone online again.
Perfect.
We need to do a quick setup switch. May I hand you those?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
See, when you're in real life.
So.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Perfect. We can hear you clearly, and it's good to have you. Thank you so much for joining. Shayda, would you like to introduce yourself quickly?
Yeah, sure. Hi, my name is Shayda. I'm a graphic designer and illustrator from Guatemala, but I'm currently living in Berlin since 2017. And yeah, I work full-time as an art director in a company called Blinkist, but I also do freelance illustration on the side.
Very cool. And so, and so you said you're an art director full time, and so your illustration, is it something you do personally? Do you do it for clients?
Both. I always like to, keep drawing at least on the weekends, even if it's just something that I'm gonna post on my Instagram. But sometimes people approach me for illustration project, and I do freelance for that as well.
Very cool. I think it's nice when something you start just doing as a practice for yourself becomes a real job. I feel like that's the most exciting thing about working in a creative field.
It is, and it's really great when it works out at the end.
Yeah, for sure.
So, Shayda, we have a look at your portfolio right now, and I have to say there are so many nice projects. Is there one that you would like to have highlighted here with us?
Actually, this one is quite outdated. Could you go to the one from my portfolio, Shayda.myportfolio? Yeah.
Of course, using Adobe Portfolio, this gives extra points. Whoa.
Nice.
Okay, that's very nice. Love the typeface.
Yeah, really nice. Did you do that yourself, or did you choose
No,
it?
I bought that font.
It fits your illustration style really well, so, really good match.
So let's drop into the first one. Book illustrations.
Beautiful.
Oh, really cool.
What was the inspiration for this project?
So this was, just this editorial house that approached me saying that they wanted to do a little tiny book. It's honestly it was very cute because it's this big. And it was about divination, tarot and stones and reading tea leaves and stuff. They approached me. I kind of read the book, and they gave me the spots where they would put illustrations. So I just thought what could go well based on the content. And yeah, it was actually pretty fun. And actually, it's the first freelance project where there were no changes at all.
Wow.
So I sent all the illustrations, the sketches. All the sketches were approved, and I sent the color, and that was it.
Wow. Does that ever happen?
I was going to say, I don't think I've ever had that happen to me, so you must do something right.
It was very satisfying, yeah.
I love the texture you've got in here as well. Do you do all that digitally, or do you do anything manually?
No, everything is digital. So these are brushes that I bought for Procreate, but they also have them for Photoshop.
That's really nice.
It looks so realistic.
Yeah, and it's nice. I think it's nice in your portfolio that you've actually showed photos of the real book as well, because I think I like the way you can actually see the scale of the book, because it's so tiny and beautiful.
Exactly.
I'm already going back and forth because I want to see more, but this one is so cool because the size, I think, is special.
Yeah.
Usually you would see bigger ones, but this is really cute. I want to have it, you know. It's something you want to touch.
You can buy it.
I will definitely do
Yeah.
that later. I will come to your website and have a look again. Let's have now you can choose a project.
Ooh, okay, I'm going to choose. So you have so many lovely projects in like, and you've got little. I really like the animations. I'm going to go for this
The
one.
dancer?
See, I always find my way to a personal project. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So these are beautiful. So these are like little animations that you did. Talk me through your kind of like ideas. This is really fun.
So I always wanted to learn how to animate, but like I'm really bad at like animation softwares for some reason. So I started doing like these frame by frame animations, like based on a video, so like a rotoscope in Photoshop. And it just kind of evolved, and for some reason all of them are dance animations. I don't know why, even though like I don't really dance in real life, but I love drawing or animating people dancing for some reason.
I was going to say, did you get anybody to model for these, or is these just? So it's not your dancing or your partner dancing that you've traced.
No, exactly. So no, it's not me. So for example, for this one, it's like the dance scene from Napoleon Dynamite. And the one down is actually a bit longer, but it's based on like a music video.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, you can maybe like move forward a bit by.
So is this a music video you particularly like that you kind of chose as your inspiration, or?
Exactly. Then I just kind of like did my interpretation. There were like some parts where I could play with like transparency or.
I have to say, it makes me want to dance. I'm looking forward to the after show party now because I can't hold back, you know. It's really cool.
Thank you.
Also reminds me a bit about the French Dispatch.
Yes,
Have you seen the
yeah.
music video? Yeah, it's really cool.
It's very nice.
It's so subtle, but still so convincing.
It's nice to see so much motion as well. I think like so much illustration can fall a bit flat, so it's always really nice to see like the different ways you've interpreted it. I think that's really lovely.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Shayda, are there any specific questions you would have, or we could just give you some input on?
So I mean, I think I have like a lot of variety on my portfolio. So like if you go back, I have like illustration, I have animation, maybe some photography, editorial design, logos, even like a project about UI design. I'm just wondering, I mean, I don't know how good that is in terms of like having too much variety on your portfolio. I hear different thoughts. Like some people think you should have just like one thing on your portfolio. Others think that you should have like a variety of things. Not exactly sure like what's the right balance here.
But I think it depends on the kind of work you want to do. I think that's the really key thing. If you like, we just had a guest on, and she really does like editorial illustration, and like that's her thing, and that's what she wants to do. So she has a very streamlined portfolio. But I think it also depends. For example, people who do like book cover design, like they often have much more varied kind of styles on their site because they want to show versatility. So I think it's really about for you knowing like what you love doing the most, and then just highlighting the work that reflects that. I think if you sometimes one of the things I've done, I have quite a lot of diverse work on my website, is I've used filters before, so you can filter through just branding projects or just illustration projects. But I think if you want to do lots of things, I think that's okay. I think if you really just want to be an illustrator, you can streamline it down. I think it just really depends on your journey so far.
Maybe that's a good question. Is this something you know already? Do you know if you want to move more into one direction, or do you want to be, I hate this question, but is it specialist or generalist?
Yeah.
To be honest, I really enjoy illustration, but I also really like my job as an art director. So it's just like really hard. I don't know. Maybe I can still do both. I don't need to like separate my graphic design identity into different parts.
I love this approach because there are so many people who spend an insane amount of time to just figuring out what they want. Whilst I think it's good to just enjoy what you do.
Yeah.
And this portfolio is such a nice, it's a comprehensive view on how great it can be to enjoy multiple disciplines in design.
And I like that it's so playful. Like, I think that's a common thread that's running through all your projects, is that you may have done them across different media forms, but I love the little like playful elements you've got in everything, from your gifts, your book design, and I'm sure that runs through all the other projects you do too. So I think as long as it's got like a tone of voice and a personality, which I think it does, then I think that's great.
Cool, thank you.
It's very nice. Let's have another. We have about 5 minutes, so let's have a look at another project because I'm so I'm really intrigued to see more. I'm undecided. The one with the shirt, or some logos? No. Oh no!
Oh no! Okay, go on. It's okay. Which is your favorite? Okay, which is your favorite? We haven't.
You said oh no. So maybe that's something to just, simply remove from the portfolio. I would do that because if I have a bad feeling, I just cut everything.
Yes.
What's your opinion?
I am the same. I think if you don't love it and you don't want it to be the first project people look at, cut it.
Yeah, true. Good point. Good point. It's just because I love the project, but I don't like the photos that I took of it. But yeah, good point.
Okay.
But I feel like that's always a problem though. Trying to get like photos and stuff together for a project is like half the battle. Like people don't spend half as much time presenting the projects as they do working on the projects. I know I am exactly the same, and I think it's something we all have an issue with.
Yeah.
But it's the most important thing. But sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, I said my favorite one from my portfolio would be the one on the right, the top right, the one that says personal illustrations.
Oh, nice.
See, we almost ooh.
So that's the kind of thing that I do on the weekends that I post on my Instagram, sort of thing.
Yeah, I need to ask you, but what's your feeling about portfolio, Instagram? What's the most important thing to show your work at?
I think I treat Instagram like a little taster. I think, it's great posting like personal projects, like that kind of thing on your Instagram, because if I tend to find people on Instagram and then I go through to their website. So I think having both, and it's always like I see the website as the deep dive, which I think is what you're doing really well here. So yeah, and I love the kind of different colors and styles you're evolving through here. I think you can see that you've spent a lot of time on it, but also that you really enjoy it. And I think that really shows.
Cool, thanks.
Which is your favorite one of the ones that we're looking at?
I love all the ones with my cat Kimchi. So I have a cat, her name is Kimchi. And I just love all the ones where I just like show anything related to her.
Isn't there a word called catspiration? Because there are so many people who get inspired that much by their cats. Right?
Yeah.
And how do you come up with the ideas for these?
I don't know. I just draw what I feel when I'm with her. So for example, if you go down, like the one next to this one is like she's really big and we're like kind of like looking at the window together. So sometimes she just stares at the window and I go next to her and I start staring at the window as well. So it's just kind of like that feeling of us sharing time together, I guess.
Oh, that's so cool. I really like the style. I like the textures and everything. So I'm really happy we had you here, Shayda. It's so cool to see your portfolio.
Thanks. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
I think we're almost at the end of this first part of the portfolio review.
Very cool.
Thank you so much for joining. It was a real pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Anytime. And I think we should enjoy a drink later on.
Absolutely.
Because that was really a lot of fun.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And have a good evening, afternoon. What time is it? Enjoy the off.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, and we're back with the portfolio reviews. I'm really excited to have an even bigger group of people here now.
You mean an even taller group of people?
Oh, Sam, you got me on this one.
Hang on, I will sit down. It's okay. It's all right.
Yeah, please do it.
There we are.
The honor,
Better?
Tim. Oh, of course, that's weird. Thank you. But our guest today is Bruna. Hi, nice to have you here. We will do another portfolio review with you. See, I'm already having a tongue twister from this word. But I'm really excited to have a look at your portfolio because I love it.
It is great. I indeed love it too. So first of all, for those who don't know who you are, perhaps you can just quickly tell the people who are you, what are you doing at OFFF, and what's your favorite color?
Oh, that's a good one. So my favorite color is blue.
The important question first. I like that.
My name is Bruna, and I'm a multidisciplinary designer. So that means I do a bit of graphic design, photography, video, website design, you name it.
Is there something you don't do?
Yeah, 3D, but I'm working on it. Yeah.
Well, you know, the Substance booth is right next to us, so perhaps you just have to take a look over there.
I'm going to test that out later. Thanks.
All right. Well, first of all, also, I'm not sure if we have said hi to the chat yet, but hi, chat. Thanks for watching. I've seen you a lot in the background, and I really appreciate you all joining us. And right, shall we get going with the portfolio, because you have a wonderful portfolio, and we only have like 15 minutes. So let's hop on over to the screen. Oh, we already are. There we go. This is your Behance.
Yes.
And tell me, which project would you like us to start with?
Maybe let's just go with the latest one that's been posted. Yeah, so.
All right.
Would you like me to give a little introduction about it? Or?
Tell us, what's this project? I mean, we could all read, but
yeah,
just in a few words, perhaps. Let us know.
Don't let us wait. Scroll further. We want to see
You want to see the visuals while I'm talking about it.
Oh, Melanie, you're such a pro.
I'm sorry. I'm just not patient enough.
So I specialize in brand identities, and this is actually a personal project of mine that I created. So I began a series of illustrations with mostly like black and white and grays, and then one element in every single illustration is highlighted in like a holographic or rainbow kind of element.
I like it.
As you can tell, I love shiny things by my little head. So I created a whole brand identity around this, and the idea is to launch these as individual prints that can be bought online, and they will actually have the printed element will be holographic. So I've got some examples of how I would apply the branding in different kind of materials, and then at the bottom you see some examples of the actual illustrations that I've created, and I'm posting every once in a while on its own Instagram channel.
Right. But wait a minute, are those mock-ups?
These are mock-ups, yes.
Yeah.
Also the one above?
I think we already have to stop you there, because this is one of my pet peeves. People design so many great logos and graphic designs, but they never mock it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
So I really like how you added just, if you have a business card, you want to know how it looks.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see a canvas, so that's great. I loved. Oh, what's that?
Yeah, of course. So
Hang
this
on.
is kind of like what I would envision a how do you call that, tissue paper?
Wrapping paper?
Yeah, like wrapping
Yeah.
paper. So branded wrapping paper that I could wrap the prints in to protect them, more like when they're going to be packaged or mailed to.
See, you
to
go
the
from the
buyer.
beginning to the very end. Packaging, shipping, everything is a whole, complete concept and system. That's great.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, okay. So was this already printed, or you plan on printing that?
So it's been a very long process in the making. I started this a year ago, and I actually took a very long time to find a supplier that could print with the holographic technique that I wanted. So I finally found one. So I was able to print actually that exact one.
Wow.
This is a mock-up, but I have like a real live version
How
of it.
big is it? It's like
It's like A4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I ordered some test runs first, and they looked really good. So now I just need to set up the shop and start selling them.
yeah,
But that's always
it's
a
so
hurdle.
good they start applauding.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so it's
Really,
exciting.
really good.
But yeah.
I mean, personally, I'm not sure if you can tell, but black is one of my favorite colors. I know it's
Oh,
quite
yeah.
difficult to spot. So these super high contrast, really striking, vibrant colors, but not too vibrant, because otherwise holographic would look just weird. So I really like the presentation. I also like how you added like the grid at the end. So first of all, you get a huge impression, and then if you're interested, oh yeah, I can see that. I can see that bigger.
Yeah.
Great portfolio technique to really show lots of different graphics, lots of different designs
Yeah.
in one project. So I really like the description.
And you inspired Tim. You
I'm-
open new words with the colors.
I'm
for him.
super inspired. The one
Nice.
thing perhaps I would suggest, if at all possible, perhaps just add 1 or 2 lines actually below this, because the story you just told me, like, yes, I printed this. This is great. I feel like this adds a lot of character to this. So
Yeah.
perhaps just 1 or 2 lines, doesn't have to be much. I think that could really elevate your portfolio from a great to a really outstanding one.
Okay.
So, but not to say that those graphics can't stand on their own. But sometimes,
No, of course.
those backstories, which you tell me, I feel like they could be a great addition. Or maybe not right here, maybe at the bottom, maybe they're coming. We haven't scrolled all the way down
Or
yet.
you scrolled over them at the very beginning.
Yeah, I
Oh,
do
hang
write
on.
about it in the beginning.
Hang on, now I have to.
But I'm not sure if I described everything that I just told you to
Yeah.
just now. So
Oh yeah, there you go. Right,
yeah.
you think of everything. All right,
Yes.
let's go back.
And actually, I created this on my website as well, which is also using Adobe Portfolio.
Oh,
So
look at
I
you.
easily just press like post to Behance, and it automatically does that.
You mean the Adobe Portfolio, which is linked to your Behance profile,
Yeah.
and it's super easy.
So easy.
Can we maybe have a look?
Can we have a look?
Yeah, sure, if you
If
want
it's
to.
linked, is it
Yeah,
that one?
it's right there in my link. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
By
I
the-
created it
I
all
th-
with the Adobe Portfolio.
I think we should talk a minute about. I mean, all this is great. I'm pointing at the screen; they can't see that. All this is great,
Yes.
but also very important. What I would recommend, perhaps, is just a few lines, maybe just this is who I am, because at least for me, we look for guests on Adobe Live, right?
Yeah.
So we have a look at portfolio not reviews, at portfolio sites and Behance, and usually we have a look over to the left side, like where do they have, who are they? Just perhaps a quick description. I am a graphic designer. I do this, that, and that,
Yeah.
because this can be a really cool way to get a first impression of you
Yeah.
in a nutshell. So that, if you want, could be a cool way to just get a first impression in.
Yeah.
I really like how you linked all the links. That's important.
Of course.
People want to know where to find you. So kudos, definitely. So,
Yeah. But
Let's-
thanks for the tip. That's actually
Yeah.
really useful.
all right. So let's have a look at your Adobe portfolio. First of all,
Yes.
great design.
Very on brand.
You should be a designer, I feel
Oh,
like.
Really?
Have you thought about that? Have you
Maybe,
considered?
here and there.
Right, okay. Hello there. Ooh, I already like the same color aesthetic. I can see a theme going on. Very nice. Which is also important, having a look, having a theme where people
Consistency.
ideally would say, oh, yep, that's you.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like
otherwise, the text, that helps.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I have to say, I know it's. We know that the work is really good, but what you did here is you used Adobe Portfolio and branded it.
Yeah.
Because Adobe Portfolio works with themes, but this one is something I haven't seen before, and someone who really, like, you did it towards your brand design. That's cool.
Yeah.
Really like it. Shall we have a look just around quickly? Or,
Yeah,
or do you
if you
prefer us
like.
to do on Behance?
No, I really don't mind. I think I have more projects on here
Okay,
rather
yeah.
than on Behance, so
Let's do that
there might
then.
be more to discover.
Any project in particular would you like us to have a look at?
Maybe we should look at some photography for
Sure.
variety.
There we go. All right.
Yeah, so maybe this is something that I'm never sure about how I should lay out all the different categories that I have. So within photography, I feel like I have different groups of like portrait photography, corporate photography, food, and things like that. So I kind of made subcategories, but then sometimes I wonder if that's the best way to present that in my portfolio.
It's tricky because some people are of the opinion that you only should present one type of work, so the clients who will probably hopefully hire you will know exactly, okay, we can expect exactly this.
Yeah.
But I feel like only showing one part of that would be a waste since you do so many great things.
Yeah.
So just showing one perhaps isn't the best idea ever. So I really, I feel like what you did, if we have a look down here, you have like the categories on the side.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is, if you want to show all the different facets of your work, then I feel like this is indeed already the best idea to how to present them in a way that makes sense, because I want to see if I know, if I look at your photography, I want to see who am I hiring. So right now I can see, okay, food, she does food, great.
Yeah.
She does places, and she does people.
Yeah.
So I know what to expect, and that's super valuable, and definitely a very good idea to have a clear structure to your website. And
Cool.
we like
I always
it.
wonder if it's too much.
No,
Because I like everything, and so it's hard for me to edit down.
I'm a bit torn here because I would maybe consider an own portfolio just for the photographic work, because then you could highlight it a bit better, really have huge full screen images and bring it to focus. Whilst here it's a bit, it's a bit like a subcategory, which is sad. If you're
I mean, the issue probably is you have so much work to show, you do so much, there is probably no real way to boil it down. And like I said, it would be a shame to hide the projects. But I think we can look at one last quick project,
Yep, sure.
and then unfortunately the time is already over.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Which one would you like to look at?
Back at Behance.
Oh,
should
sorry,
we,
no,
or-
wrong Behance. There we go.
I don't have a preference, so I'm
Then
gonna
I will
let
pick
you
one.
choose.
How about
Yes.
we pick one based on the thumbnail?
we
Because many people underestimate how important thumbnails are.
Yep.
So first of all, or we can also perhaps just talk about the thumbnails in general, because I don't think we have 1 minute to do a full project.
and we usually don't agree, so that might be difficult.
So, Melanie, what do you think about all those thumbnails? Do they speak together as a whole? Do they reflect what the project's all about? Are you enticed to click on them?
I think the mix is a bit too strong for me. I would maybe go for, because what I love is this one here, because it highlights a product in that case, and this one here shows me it's probably about illustration.
Yeah.
But I would try to align it a bit better. Although, again, I would use something separately for the photography.
Yeah.
But just, the first two, for example, are really nicely aligned. Also, the second one in the second row, it goes really nice with it. I think it's perfect the way it is for the projects you have there, but I would sort some of the projects out.
Yeah, I think this might be our most important tip. Perhaps just have a separate portfolio, because then you can have a whole world of your photography, and you don't have to push it like in a subcategory, because that would be a shame. You do such great work, but unfortunately, that's all the time we have for now.
That's fine. Thank you
thank
very
you
much.
very much for joining us here at OFFF. I hope you have a wonderful day. And right now, we will have our next reviewer with us. So thank you again.
Yeah, thank you.
I think you have to go that way because I'm blocking everything.
Thank you. We will see you around. Enjoy.
Bye-bye. All right. And there we go.
Thank you.
Let's
Jump
see.
in.
Hello, Lolo. Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
So good.
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing great. We're having the time of our life here at OFFF.
Nice to hear.
And I hope we can bring some of that energy towards you. We will project it to you at home. All right. Okay.
You're on fire today, Tim.
Sorry?
You're on fire
I'm
today.
on fire today. Yeah. It's
Okay.
the day. Anyway, why don't you tell us who are you and what brings you to portfolio reviews? What would you like us to give feedback to you?
Sure.
That was a sentence, was it?
I'm Julia. My name is Julia Trindade. I'm a Brazilian graphic designer, but I'm based in Lisbon. I've been living here for more than 4 years now. I work across print and digital, mostly at the intersection of fashion and culture.
All right, I love it. And we already have your Behance ready, so we will have a look at your projects. Are there any portfolio projects in particular you would like us to have a look at?
But it's not this one.
No, it's
sorry.
the.
I'm a professional. Hang on, just
Hang
a
on.
moment.
Yes, we need a minute.
Let me see
Because I remember your. Should we? What do we do now? Do you want to switch?
Hang on. I will quickly go to the page and open that. That's no worries. In the meantime,
Because I really liked your portfolio, Julia. It was great, and it was one of the portfolios that I remembered. That's why I was shocked now when I saw the wrong one. I'm so
that's
sorry.
not the right one.
I was already giving.
No problem.
I was already giving signs with my toes. This is a cut here.
Oh, there was a D missing. Oh dear. Let's try that again. Aha.
Yes, that's
that
what
was
it is.
sneaky. There
Yes.
was a D in the name missing. All right.
That's it. There's a
more
lot
like
of Julia Trindade in the world.
So let me try this question again. Which project of the right ones would you like us to talk about? That's
I
how
guess
you know it's live.
the first two.
The first two, all right. So let's start with the Reminders collection.
Yes.
All right.
So the thing is, I guess, like in the past, I've done a lot of different types of work, but now I'm more interested in poster design, a little bit of editorial design, and I really like to mix fashion with graphic design. So I love to work like in collaboration with photographers. So like they send me pictures and I go a little crazy with it. And yeah.
All right. Let's see.
I have
First
to
of all,
no,
sorry, no, go ahead, please. I've been talking too much.
What's going on too? What I really like about your portfolio is that you collaborate with photographers and other people, and that's something that immediately intrigued me about it, because it's so cool to see collaborations.
Yeah.
And I have to say, your style is very. It's special, you know. It's not nothing you see every day. It's
Nice to hear.
And that's something which I can't say enough. Presenting your work is one thing, but if your work to begin with isn't great, you can't really present it. So I really think that you have wonderful work here, and I don't think I can say anything bad about that, because yeah, it's great. So
But-
let's perhaps talk about the presentation instead, because that I can say some
yes,
things about.
that is the first question I need to ask Julia. Are those mock-ups or are those real pictures of your work?
Yeah, that's also something that I think about a lot, like how to present the project on Behance, you know, like if it's better to maybe just use mock-ups or, you know, put up posters like in a gallery like I did. So like that would be my main question actually. So yeah.
Well, if you can't tell if it's a mock-up, if you have to ask, does it matter? I mean, if you just go back to this one, because I really think this is important. If you couldn't tell if this was real or not, I don't think it matters if it is a mock-up.
Yep, true.
And the presentation of this, honestly, I don't even want to know. Because either you are so good at Photoshop, you made that, or you are so good and you actually printed it out, and I would be happy with both of them. So having this, like I said in the previous review also, super important, because it shows your work in context. And I almost feel like you could even start with this, maybe, because these images at the top, that's great. You show a lot of different versions, perhaps, or different designs. But I feel like, as a human, which some people claim that I am, I always like a big picture, or just something to start off with, something to grab my attention, so I can see. All right, okay,
Yeah, it makes
I like
sense.
that.
Yeah.
So perhaps, maybe, just maybe, you could swap the first row here with this big image. Just swap those two.
Yeah.
That's something I feel like, I mean, this is just my opinion, of course, feel free to disagree, but I feel like this could just grab the attention of the inclined viewer.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. And maybe also as a thumbnail.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, right, absolutely, yes. Also,
But
go ahead, please.
I would really love to see your work in something like a street art gallery.
All right, yeah.
It would be so cool to just see the posters in real life.
Thank you.
And I can already picture them somewhere in Berlin, you know, in a narrow street,
Yeah.
and they're like placed like in a
Yeah,
gallery, but
I
it's
get
actually
you.
street art. So it's something. That's why
That's such
I
a new
really
idea.
like your work. Yeah.
Melanie, you're such a pro. All right, okay. Let's just have a quick look at this project, and then I think it's we have about, only 4 minutes left. So let's, after that one, let's pick a different one, but just at least to show this one, because I feel like this is worth showing, definitely, this is great. Also, how did you photograph this? Was this like a fisheye lens, and you took it with put on a normal camera, or how was this done?
I was not the photographer in the project. It was he's known as Story Frames, but I guess it was a fisheye
Okay, sorry, then
lens.
then disregard my question. Oh wow.
But yeah, it looks really cool, right? The photos.
Oh, this is important, and the question is it clickable? It is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
unfortunately, correct. Okay, but really important when you show all this, and at the end you have like a link for people to go further and learn more about this. Very, very good idea.
Okay, maybe like that brings me to another question, which is, for example, I have a Behance, I have a portfolio website, and also like a PDF portfolio. So maybe like, do you think it would be a great idea to, for example, link the projects on my Behance to my portfolio website, and then like to know more about the project or something like that?
Yep, that can be a way to do it. It depends on how much you want to have on your Behance and how much you want to people to go to other websites. You know, some people, they say like, "Ooh, I really want to grow my Instagram or whatever." Then of course it would make sense for you to push people over to Instagram. But if you are just looking to present your work, then I feel like actually keeping people on Behance can also be really important, because then they will have a look at your other projects,
makes sense.
and they will check more of you. And when they really like you, after they appreciated your work and after they followed you, of course, then they can probably use the, like in your profile, sorry if I just...
Sorry, I was...
They can use these links over here.
Yeah.
And also, very important, well done, you have a who am I, a contact, and work experience. Very important.
Yeah, you pretty much filled the whole Behance portfolio, and that's a really important step to see for people to see what you did in the past, what you're currently doing, and the projects are, in my opinion, convincing too. What I like is this mix you have. You have a very strong style, no matter if it's illustration or graphic design or the photography you pick. It's a cool combination, I like that.
And back to the first project we talked about, where I said big image at the top. This is exactly what you did here. I like it. A huge, big image with some text on it and the design. That's an eye-catcher. That really makes you want to look like, oh, a zine that brings up topics from people usually shy away from. All right, I want to know more about this. And then I scroll down and like, oh yeah, interesting. All right, okay, And then I expect perhaps to find a download or a buy link perhaps at the end. Will we get lucky? Let's see. Oh yeah, there you go. Well done.
But Julia, would you say that your work is very conceptual?
Yeah, and like that's what I said. Like in the past, I think I've done a little bit of illustration and etc. And now, like it's more like posters and stuff. But it's good that you said that kind of like makes sense, even if it's like a whole like different project. So. Because that's also something that you were saying at the other review of like, should I keep different projects?
Yeah,
you know?
It's tricky. Yeah. But I really feel like you're on the best way to really have a Behance portfolio where people say, I want to know more about this. I want to see more of your work. I definitely do. Never was logged in. I would follow you, but I can't.
I do already, so maybe that's something you have to catch up, which is good, because finally you have to catch up on something, and I don't have to. But
Right.
Julia, cool work. I love the topics you cover. I hope to see more soon. And I think
Thank you.
Yep, that's all the time we have for this session, but stick around for the next one. We have one more session to go, and of course, we will also be live tomorrow and on Saturday here at Adobe Live. And thank you also to the chat, like Oliver and Thomas and Sean and Noor. Bruce, thank you. We will be right back with the next session.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.